A recent redistricting case just came to a close in the great state of Georgia. For those of you that are not aware, there has been a back and forth battle brewing over gerrymandering claims in the state of Georgia when it comes to our congressional seats, some of our state house seats, and some of our state senate seats. Now, as we all know, every 10 years we conduct a census to count population, and in Metro Atlanta, the population has of course continued to grow, and the demographic that has grown the most, of course, are Black people. And the complainants in this case stated that the Republican Party of Georgia illegally diluted Black voting power, and the judge on your screen, Stephen Jones, appointed by Barack Obama, agreed with the plaintiffs that the Georgia Republican Party did indeed discriminate in a racially biased way against Black voters. So they were forced to call a special session. Brian Kemp, our governor, called a special session, and they redrew the maps, and the judge ordered them to create some new Black districts. So the Georgia Republican Party, they went to work and they crafted a couple of new Black majority Senate seats. They crafted a new Black majority congressional seat, and they changed around the state house seats to give the Democrats an opportunity to have 5 more majority Black districts. But instead of just giving the seats away, they just simply broke some of the districts up and moved some voters around and created the majority Black districts as the judge ordered. And a lot of the plaintiffs are still upset, even though the judge had his order complied with. The judge literally said, make these districts either very close to being majority Black or majority Black. And the Georgia Republican Party did that. And like I said, they're still upset because what they wanted was more Democrat control. They weren't really concerned about more majority Black districts just for the sake of Black voters not being diluted. They don't care about the voting rights of Black people. What they care about is power. The Democrats were using this as a way to try to attain power without doing any real work, without doing any real boots on the ground work and winning elections. See, Georgia's a very politically polarized state. Most of the white people down here vote Republican. Most of the Black people down here vote Democrat. And the Black vote can only help out the Democrats in certain parts of the state, because when the white Republican base comes out strong, they can't beat the Republicans because the numbers are just too strongly in their favor. Now, when you start adding in Hispanics and Asians and white liberals, on a good year, they can make the races close. As we saw, Herschel Walker went down in the Senate race a couple years prior in the 2020 election. We had to do a runoff with Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue versus John Ossoff and Warnock, and we know how 2020 was a disaster and people didn't show up, and now Georgia has 2 Democrat senators. So the Democrats can win in Georgia. It just depends on turnout and how bad the candidate it is for the Republican Party, or how bad the Republican voter base feels about the candidates. So what the Georgia Republican Party did for the congressional seat, they basically made a new majority Black or close to majority Black district on the west side of the metro, and they broke up Gwinnett County into 4 districts instead of 2 in a little piece of one. And Gwinnett County has a huge population. It's the second biggest county in the state. Gwinnett is a minority majority county. It's one of the most diverse counties in the country. A lot of Black, a lot of white, a lot of Hispanic, and a decent sized Asian population. Every demographic is at least in double digits in that county. So they got what they wanted. They got what the judge ordered. And that's going to be the end of the discussion for a while. They're, of course, going to challenge it, but chances are they're not going to be able to get the judge's ruling overturned. Gwinnett County is a major county now, and its population is just humongous. So what they simply did was genius. They just took the Democrat parts of the county and pushed them into some of the other Democrat districts, and took some of the Republican parts of the county and pushed them further out towards some of the rural Georgia districts that tend to vote Republican anyway. So none of the current congressional members from Georgia are going to lose when they run for re-election this year. Hank Johnson, he represents the East Metro, a very Black district. His district used to be the 4th. I don't know what it is now. I think it's probably going to be like the 5th, or I don't know. I have to look it up. Rich McCormick, he represents the far northern suburbs, Forsyth County, East Cherokee. His district is from now be called the 7th district. He'll win re-election. David Scott, he'll win re-election. All of the black Democrats are going to win re-election. Lucy McBath is the one head scratcher because her district is now going to be on the west side of Metro Atlanta, and it's a majority black district or close to it. But we'll see who wants to challenge her. It's a brand new district. That's the one that they were complaining about. That's where a lot of black people have moved to. Nikema Williams, 5th district. I don't know which district it is now, but her district is basically the city of Atlanta and a little bit of Clayton County. She'll easily win re-election. Marjorie Taylor Greene's 14th district changed a little bit, but she'll win re-election with no problem. And this is kind of significant because the Republicans have a slim majority in the House, and if this went the other way, they could have lost the seat. We know that George Santos was ousted from the House, and Kevin McCarthy is retiring in a couple of weeks. So this has enormous ramifications because the majority in the House is not very strong. Stacey Abrams and her gang are not going to quit. We know they want Georgia really, really bad. Brian Kemp, he's done a decent job as governor. He's, not a super conservative guy in my opinion. He's definitely a rhino, but we'll take him over Stacey Abrams any day. Hopefully in 2026 we'll get a true conservative governor in the governor's mansion. But I'm not going to ramble on too much, guys. Y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.